So should you buy the iPhone 13 or wait for the iPhone 14? Current prices of the iPhone 13 right here stand at around $829 or $799 with the carrier. You can also find these now. People are already selling them, getting rid of them for a little bit cheaper, but not much. These phones right here are going to be found at a pretty reasonably close to the initial launch price. iPhones don't really get a big discount until later in the year. So price-wise, if you want a better value for money, you're probably better off waiting for the iPhone 14, as this iPhone 13 is definitely starting to show its age just a little bit. This is the Alpine, actually just a regular green color here, but it's definitely not, quite as new as it was 6 months ago. So if you want to just wait it out at this point for the price wise, it's probably going to be a better deal for your money if we're just speaking solely on price. Another thing is if you're waiting to save some money, for example, you want to find this iPhone for a little bit cheaper, you're probably going to be able to do so when the iPhone 14 does launch here in just 3 months or so. So definitely you'll see this phone come down a little bit. So if you're trying to snag a deal on an iPhone 13, now is not probably the best time to buy it. We're middle, maybe a little bit more than midway through its cycle, and it's still at a regular price point. So probably not the best price time to buy this at this point. Now, as far as its design goes right now, I still think it's quite beautiful, and I think you're going to get yourself a pretty good design if you buy this phone now. However, if you do wait, you're likely not going to see too much of an improved design on the newer iPhone, as they're likely going to keep this squared look here. So I do think you're going to see the iPhone 14 retain a similar overall look as the iPhone 13 here. So design wise, it's definitely pretty good here still for the iPhone 13. However, I will say though, if you're looking for stuff like a bigger display, you'll want to wait. If you're looking for a smoother display, that is a toss-up. I'm not sure Apple's going to bring the ProMotion, but even with the 60 Hz, you will find yourself to have a pretty smooth experience, as iOS still gives you a nice scroll and pretty good animations, no matter if you're using the 60 Hz panel here or if you're using ProMotion. So pretty good still here for the iPhone 13. I find the 14 may have it. We're not sure just yet, but if you want a beautiful, bright OLED display, and they're even showing renders already that the 14 is going to retain the notch. The 14 Pro and Pro Max will likely see a pill shape cutout and get rid of the notch, but I'm not sure we're going to see it on the regular 14 and the 14 Max. So right now, if you're just looking for a big OLED, bright, beautiful display, this one definitely will provide that. This is actually as bright as the prior Pro device and still gives you True Tone, 800 nits. It still gives you a beautiful overall color saturation, stuff like that. It's a great overall panel. There's not really much to talk about in this element. They really upped the game with the iPhone 12 coming from the iPhone 11's LCD. And I think right now, should you buy it in terms of display, it really just comes down to how much do you care about 60 Hertz versus 90 Hertz versus 120 Hertz. So these things really bug you. If they do, you might want to wait it out and see what Apple does next. Now, when it comes to the software, we are running the latest 15.5. Apple is going to launch the iOS 16 developer previews on June 6th through the 10th. That's going to be WWDC. We will see the official arrive in the fall. However, this one's going to get that update, and for that matter alone, there's just no reason to wait. If you need a phone now, you're looking for a 13, waiting for a 14 is not going to net you any gains when it comes to your software experience. It's going to be the same thing. Now, in terms of the battery life here for this phone, it's always been a pretty good experience. I gotta say that the iPhone 13 does perform fantastic in this area. So I actually wouldn't wait it out expecting something amazing. I do believe that Apple will upgrade this thing to give you maybe slightly more with the 14, but I wouldn't, if you're looking for a phone now, should you wait? I wouldn't wait on the battery. The battery is already solid on pretty much every iPhone 13. Even the mini, for being a mini phone, is not that bad either. So definitely consider that when thinking about the battery. It's really just not a major area that you're probably going to find it's going to be 10 times better on the iPhone 14. Now, the next area is the camera. So I got a bag of trail mix, some blueberry nut trail mix, whatever. We're just going to use it as a photo example right now. But you can see just incredible detail here on this overall, picture quality for the iPhone 13. Even on the front, it's not that bad. You can see a very good, actually, why would I even say not that bad? It's pretty darn great here, the iPhone 13. Even your front-facing video is capable up to 4K 60. So this is definitely something that I do appreciate using with the iPhone 13 is this front-facing camera, its rear-facing camera, cinematic video is solid on here, slow motion, everything. It's just a solid camera, and to be quite fair with you, if you were looking for a major upgrade on the next iPhone camera, it's probably going to be a solid sensor upgrade. We might even see the 48 megapixel make it to the iPhone 14. I'm not sure on that, but we're going to see every year improvements. But I think it's maturing to the point now where if you got this, you already got something professional like in your pocket. So I wouldn't wait it out if you're looking for a phone now and you think you should wait just for this area alone. It probably will be better, but if you're really concerned about that, then wait it out for the Pro versions of these phones. Now, when it comes to the storage, you can get this thing all the way to 512 gigs on the iPhone 13. So if you are looking for a storage upgrade, you might see one here on the upcoming iPhone 14, as Apple has been constantly improving storage on iPhones, especially last year when they did the 1 terabyte version of the Pro. We might even see 1 terabyte make it over to the 14 and maybe 2 terabytes on the Pro. So if you want more storage, it's probably wise to wait a little bit. There might be more storage. Now, if you're looking for a total redesign, I wouldn't wait. Definitely probably not going to be a total redesign. However, you might find yourself getting different colors. So if you're not a fan of the current iPhone 13 colors, you'll definitely probably enjoy what Apple might bring. They might bring some fantastic new colors. They usually do that every year. So should you buy the iPhone 13 right now? We're going into June already. Then we got July, August, September, new iPhone. It's really difficult to recommend the iPhone 13 right now to anybody into tech. So if you're into tech, you always want the latest and greatest, skip it out. It's pretty much the obvious answer. For those of you who are like, Nick, man, I just finally got to the point where I'm able to buy the 13. I want to buy it now. Is it still worth it? Should I just wait it out? Again, if you agreed with a lot of things that I said in this video, like you want a bigger screen, you want, maybe a little bit better camera, maybe a little bit better battery life, you should definitely wait it out. If you're looking for, some major rehaul, I wouldn't wait it out whatsoever. And if you're just, looking for this massive change, you're probably not going to see that either. So you might as well just get yourself a 13 now. I personally would wait it out. And the main reason is because at this price point, you're going to get the newer stuff in just a few months. If you can't hold off though, this is still a fantastic option. It's one of the best iPhones ever made, one of the best you can buy on the market, and it's definitely still going to suffice and do the job. But just realize in a couple months, you might be like, oh man, and then something else new comes out. This cycle never ends. iPhone 13 though, may be a better deal once the 14 comes out and this price comes down a little bit. Let me know your thoughts on the 13. How has it held up for you if you've had it since launch? Do you still recommend it now? Let us know down below in the comments. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.